What's up, y'all? Looking forward to being undisputed in September. Let's get it. It's work time.
Terence Crawford has confidently proclaimed that he will knock out Canelo Alvarez and dominate him in their scheduled fight this September, asserting that the Mexican superstar simply cannot match his skill set. His bold statement has ignited a heated debate among fans, who are split between viewing Crawford as overly arrogant and believing he's simply speaking the truth. Boxing promoter Eddie Hearn has even echoed Crawford's confidence, saying the bout could make history if Crawford emerges victorious. Hearn noted that Crawford is already the undisputed champion at both 140 and 147 pounds, and should he succeed, he could become a three-division undisputed champion. These remarks have only fueled speculation, with many interpreting Hearn's comments as subtly leaning toward Crawford's chances of beating Canelo. This has enraged Canelo's supporters, who accuse Hearn of disrespecting their champion's legacy, while Crawford's fans see Hearn's praise as further validation of their fighter's dominance. The idea of Crawford becoming a three-division undisputed champion has injected even more excitement into the build-up, with reputations, pride, and history on the line. Adding to the buzz, boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. has weighed in, suggesting Crawford might indeed have what it takes to knock out Canelo. His opinion has triggered yet another wave of debate, with some questioning whether Jones is underestimating Canelo or simply recognizing Crawford's brilliance in the ring.
It's a great fight for boxing. I know people don't agree with it, but if Canelo fights one inkling of the wrong fight, he's gonna lose. If he comes out and fights the right fight, it's gonna be a tough one. So right now, I think it's gonna be either way, but it depends on what type of fight Canelo fights.
Roy Jones Jr.'s remarks have intensified the already fiery discussion, with many taking them as a prediction of Canelo's downfall. Crawford's supporters have doubled down on their belief that their fighter can pull off the impossible, while Canelo's loyal fans have responded with outrage, accusing Jones of undermining their champion's achievements. The back-and-forth has heightened the rivalry, with neither side willing to concede an inch. With such starkly divided opinions, this fight is shaping up to be one of the most polarizing events in boxing history. As if the drama weren't enough, former boxing champion Andre Ward has made his position clear: he's backing Terence Crawford to defeat Canelo Alvarez. Ward's endorsement has sent shockwaves through the sport, given his reputation as one of boxing's sharpest minds. For many, Ward's support is a strong vote of confidence in Crawford's skill and mental fortitude, despite the daunting task of moving up in weight to face such an experienced and powerful opponent.
I'm going to Terence Crawford. Big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. It ain't no disrespect to Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I've not been against Terence Crawford with nobody else. You got to show me that you can beat him.
Andre Ward's prediction has sparked intense reactions. Some applaud his faith in Crawford, while others insist he's underestimating Canelo's proven dominance at 168 pounds. Critics argue Ward's belief may be biased, stressing that no welterweight has ever successfully toppled a fighter of Canelo's caliber at super middleweight. Yet, Crawford's supporters view Ward's comments as proof of their fighter's greatness, seeing them as confirmation that he possesses the ability to stun the boxing world. As the stakes climb and expert opinions remain split, the matchup has grown beyond a typical fight. It's become a battle for legacy, honor, and history. In preparation, Terence Crawford has intensified his training by joining Shakur Stevenson's camp. This decision has drawn significant attention in the boxing community, with many regarding it as a calculated move to sharpen his abilities alongside another elite fighter. Stevenson's reputation for precision and technical mastery makes him an ideal sparring partner for preparing against Canelo's challenges. The move has prompted mixed reactions. Crawford's fans praise it as evidence of his relentless pursuit of perfection, while critics contend that no sparring session can truly prepare him for Canelo's raw power and vast experience. Some skeptics even suggest this extra effort hints at self-doubt, as if Crawford feels he needs more than his usual routine to compete at that level. Conversely, Stevenson's influence could become a hidden advantage, enhancing Crawford's speed and defense in ways that might frustrate Canelo. Regardless of perspective, the stakes have never been higher, and Crawford's strategic choices only amplify the anticipation. He has repeatedly doubled down on his confidence, leaving no space for uncertainty about his mindset. His declarations have become a centerpiece of the fight's narrative, with fans and critics dissecting every word. For Crawford, this is more than talk, it's a direct message to Canelo and his supporters that he is ready to do whatever is necessary to win. I'm going to win, man. I do everything, man. It ain't nothing that I can't do, he declared, sending ripples through the boxing world. Supporters hail his unwavering belief, pointing to his flawless record as proof, while skeptics warn that such confidence might backfire against a seasoned and powerful opponent like Canelo. Many wonder if Crawford's adaptability can withstand Canelo's relentless pressure and physicality. Whatever the answer, one fact is clear: Crawford isn't merely aiming to win, he's determined to dominate. This stage is set for a clash that could define both fighters' legacies. Even current super middleweight contender Caleb Plant has spoken up, recognizing that Crawford truly has a chance to defeat Canelo. Plant's breakdown of Crawford's skill set, highlighting his rare blend of power, versatility, and technical excellence, carries weight, especially coming from someone who has first-hand experience at 168 pounds. Caleb Plant's comments have further fueled the conversation, drawing a wide range of reactions. Many applaud his honesty and deep knowledge of the sport, with Crawford's supporters viewing his stance as yet more proof that their fighter truly has the tools to stun the world. However, Canelo's fans counter that Plant is overstating Crawford's abilities while downplaying Canelo's dominance in his natural weight class. The notion that Crawford could move seamlessly through multiple weight divisions to dethrone one of boxing's most decorated champions has split the fanbase more than ever, especially with fighters like Plant openly backing Crawford's chances. Anticipation for this potential historic clash has now reached fever pitch. Former champion Amir Khan has also offered his view, bringing a unique perspective as someone who has stepped into the ring with Crawford. His opinion carries weight, particularly when he highlighted a factor often overlooked: Crawford's size and physicality. Crawford's a big guy, Khan stated. I think Crawford, in my opinion, his words added another layer to the ongoing debate. Some agree that Crawford's size and power could make him a genuine threat at 168 pounds, while others dismiss the claim, noting that Canelo has been competing and excelling at higher weight classes for years. Critics argue that Crawford's big guy label only applies relative to the welterweight division, raising doubts about how his frame would fare against a true super middleweight like Canelo. Supporters, on the other hand, take Khan's statement as proof that their fighter is not only technically gifted but physically equipped to handle the jump in weight. They argue that his size, paired with his adaptability, could prove disastrous for Canelo. Khan's bold endorsement has only widened the divide, turning this fight into not just a battle of skill, but a clash over what it really means to be great across divisions. Adding even more intrigue, former Canelo opponent Danny Jacobs has chimed in. Having faced Canelo himself, Jacobs has unexpectedly claimed that Terence Crawford possesses both the power and the skill to defeat the Mexican icon. Coming from someone with first-hand experience, Jacobs' words have sent shockwaves through the sport, adding yet another twist to the debate.
I give him a chance. You know, Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, closer range, and outside. And he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting.
Danny Jacobs' remarks have reignited the war of opinions between the two camps. Crawford's backers see his comments as a credible acknowledgement from a fighter who's been in the ring with Canelo, calling his perspective invaluable. Canelo's supporters, however, dismiss Jacobs' view, suggesting his loss to Canelo clouds his judgment. They argue that while Crawford may have power and skill, he has never faced anyone close to Canelo's caliber at 168 pounds. Jacobs' endorsement has only deepened the fight's polarizing nature. Some treat his words as further proof that Crawford could spring an upset, while others view it as hype designed to stir drama. Regardless, Jacobs' insight has added to the sense that this will be one of the most unpredictable, high-stakes fights in boxing history. Jacobs expanded on his stance by addressing a critical point: whether Crawford can withstand Canelo's trademark pressure and punching power. While acknowledging Crawford's skill advantage, Jacobs questioned if he's ever dealt with Canelo's level of relentless pressure. He's never been punched by a fighter like Canelo. He's never had the pressure to deal with like Canelo, Jacobs said. This comment has sparked fierce discussion among fans, with many agreeing that Canelo's physicality and experience in higher divisions give him a distinct edge. Crawford's loyalists counter that his defensive mastery and adaptability will neutralize Canelo's aggression. The issue of whether Crawford can endure that kind of pressure has become a central talking point, with fans waiting to see the answer on fight night. Jacobs pushed the conversation further by raising the decisive question, can Crawford absorb Canelo's power? My heart is with Terence Crawford, but the only deciding factor that I feel like may change is if he's able to take the punch. He has the skill over Canelo, but can he take that wrath? Can he take that 168 to 175 power? This sparked even more controversy. Critics of Crawford see moving up to face Canelo's devastating power as a dangerous gamble, while his supporters interpret Jacobs' words as respect for Crawford's greatness, recognizing his superior skill while questioning the physical toll. Whether Crawford can endure such a challenge remains one of boxing's most pressing questions, and Jacobs' remarks have only intensified the hype. Not everyone, however, believes Crawford can prevail. Boxing legend Oscar de la Hoya has openly voiced serious doubts, calling the prospect of a welterweight challenging a powerhouse like Canelo at 168 pounds almost impossible to picture. His skepticism cuts through the promotional noise, forcing many to question if Crawford's ambition is bold brilliance or risky overreach.
I'm going to start with one of my favorites, Terence Crawford. First, I know Crawford since the amateurs. I've known him since we were like 15, 16, 17 years old. So we have a history together. So my heart is with him naturally. But what does it take for him to actually win, right? Because there's a few factors. There's weight, there's power, there's skill. I believe that Terence Crawford has the skills to beat Canelo.
De La Hoya's comments have once again stoked the flames of debate, with some agreeing that Crawford may have bitten off more than he can chew. Critics say the jump in weight is simply too drastic and could expose weaknesses against a natural super middleweight like Canelo. Crawford's supporters reject this notion, citing his unparalleled skill set and ability to adjust to any style. The divide has now deepened further, leaving uncertainty over whether this is a career-defining opportunity or a calculated misstep. Either way, the stakes are enormous, and the entire boxing world is watching closely. But De La Hoya isn't the only one questioning Crawford's chances. Former world champion Chris Algieri has also entered the discussion, offering a more analytical take. Known for his sharp technical breakdowns, Algieri stressed the sheer challenge of envisioning Crawford and Canelo sharing the ring, given their size difference and the monumental task ahead for Crawford. His perspective adds another thoughtful angle to the ongoing discourse, acknowledging just how complex this historic fight really is.
I mean, it's an all win-win situation for him, for Crawford, if you think about it. But I've just, in all the years I've been in the sport, it's just very difficult to fathom the idea that a welterweight moving up to 168 pounds and against a good fighter in Canelo, I just don't see it. I haven't seen it in the past, and I don't see it now. So I cannot go against Canelo in this one because of the weight difference. And we have weight classes for a reason. So, but I do respect and admire what Terence Crawford is doing. He's daring to be great, and I always love that.
Algieri's insights have triggered another wave of skepticism, with many agreeing that the size gap alone makes the matchup feel almost surreal. Detractors insist that Canelo's physicality and proven dominance at 168 pounds will overpower Crawford, no matter how skilled he may be. But Crawford's supporters frame it as the makings of another legendary underdog story, convinced that sharp strategy and elite skills can overcome raw size and power. Adding more controversy, respected trainer Joel Diaz has taken an uncompromising stance against Crawford's chances. Known for speaking his mind, Diaz bluntly stated that Crawford has no realistic path to victory. His comments have sparked yet more division, driving a sharper wedge between analysts and fans.
I'm favoring Canelo, but like I said, as we get closer and start to see, start to break down how these guys are going to match up, I have a hard time even picturing them in the ring together based on the size and just the fact that this fight's happening. But we got tons of time before that happens. But it's going to be an interesting break.
Diaz's blunt verdict has set off a wave of strong reactions. Critics of Crawford treat his words as confirmation that Canelo's size, power, and top-level experience will be too much for the welterweight to handle. Crawford's fans, however, quickly push back, dismissing Diaz's take as overly negative and arguing he's underestimating Crawford's mental fortitude and skill. Diaz's viewpoint underscores the monumental challenges Crawford faces moving up to fight one of boxing's most dominant champions. The weight jump, combined with Canelo's physicality and years of success at higher divisions, leaves Crawford with enormous pressure to silence his doubters. As anticipation grows, the fight is shaping into a test not only of skill, but of grit and determination. Diaz's skepticism has magnified the debate, but the conversation has expanded further with the re-entry of Amir Khan, this time offering praise for Canelo Alvarez. Having fought Canelo himself, Khan didn't hold back in acknowledging the Mexican's evolution as a fighter, highlighting how dangerous he's become. Canelo was a beast, man. Canelo's still a beast. Canelo's become a better boxer, he's looking really good, Khan said. His comments add more depth to the narrative, spotlighting Canelo's continuous improvement. Khan emphasized that Canelo's ability to adapt and sharpen his skills over the years has made him an even greater threat, a sentiment informed by his first-hand experience of Canelo's power and accuracy. For many, this is a sobering reminder of the scale of Crawford's challenge. While Crawford's fans remain confident that his unique skill set can overcome any obstacle, Khan's assessment strengthens the view that Canelo's combination of experience, power, and refined technique will be nearly impossible to crack. The story surrounding this fight is becoming more polarized by the day, with Canelo's near-perfect form looming over Crawford's ambitions. Following Khan's strong praise, rising star Abdullah Mason has stepped in with a more measured take. Acknowledging the massive challenge ahead for Crawford, Mason also pointed to the distinctive abilities that make him a legitimate threat. His balanced perspective injects unpredictability into the discussion, adding yet another layer to the already fiery debate.
People that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo.
Mason's remarks convey a sense of cautious optimism regarding Crawford's chances, yet they also recognize Canelo's vast experience and commanding dominance. His statement gets right to the heart of what makes this bout so captivating: the collision of contrasting styles, deep experience, and tactical approaches. For many, it's a reminder that regardless of predictions or odds, the true outcome is decided in the ring, not on paper. While Canelo's supporters consistently highlight his proven record and physical advantages, Mason's acknowledgement of Crawford's abilities inspires hope among those who believe the underdog can pull off the extraordinary. This fight is now viewed as more than just a showcase of skill, it's about preparation, game plans, and flawless execution when the first bell sounds. Both camps radiate confidence, intensifying the anticipation to a fever pitch. Supporters on both sides are ready for a clash that could redefine boxing history. The showdown between Crawford and Canelo has swiftly become one of the most discussed events in modern boxing. On one hand, Terence Crawford stands as a pound-for-pound king, renowned for his technical mastery, unparalleled adaptability, and unwavering drive to face any challenge. On the other hand, Canelo Alvarez arrives as a battle-hardened veteran, armed with fight-ending power, a legendary track record, and a size advantage that many predict will be Crawford's downfall. This is far more than a meeting of two great fighters, it's a measure of legacy, risk, and skill. Crawford's decision to rise in weight to take on one of the sport's most dominant champions has drawn both admiration and doubt. Some argue his precision and tactical brilliance could outmaneuver Canelo's raw strength, while others believe he's overreaching. As debates grow more heated, one fact remains: this encounter will etch itself permanently into boxing's history, regardless of the victor. Will Crawford rise to the challenge and secure his place among the sport's all-time greats? Or will Canelo demonstrate that size, power, and skill form an unbeatable combination?
You know, Crawford,
But you know, what boxing comes down to, who the best fighter that night, you know, who got the best game plan. But Crawford, he got the skills to make it happen. And Canelo, he also has the skills and experience. So, you know, I'm just waiting for it to happen, and I'm gonna be tuning into that.
If you enjoyed the fight, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more knockout content only on Knuckle Forge.